Wake with the dawn, cold air on the skin. Hammer and plow, the day's work begins. The river runs quiet, the sky turning gold. Another day young, another day old. Bread on the fire, steel in my hands. Calloused and strong from this stubborn land. Dreams are small, but dreams are mine. A house, a hearth, a life in time. In the fields of home, where the wild winds roam, I was just a name, I was just a boy, with the hills to climb and a simple time, and a heart still unspoiled by glory or war. I heard the drums from the castle far, stories of kings, banners and scars. But I've no sword, I've no crown, just the dust of the rose that run through this town. I'm in the fences, I'm in the barn, I'm in my thoughts while spinning yarn. But something stirs behind the trees, a whisper carried on the evening breeze. In the fields of home, where the wild winds roll, I was just a name, I was just a boy, with the hills to climb and a simple time, and a heart still unspoiled by glory or war. But shadows grow long where the sun once shone, and peace, like morning, never lasts long. The storm will come, I cannot know that I'll leave behind these hills I've known. From the fields of home, where the wild winds roam, I will rise unknown, I will ride to war, with the fire of storm in this quiet soul, to become something more than I was before. The wind in the grass still carries my name, in the fields of home before war came. Before war came. The rider came at break of day, steel in his voice, no time to play. A scroll in hand, my name in ink, no time to run, no time to think. They said the lines are breaking fast, the southern walls may never last, and every able hand must stand, for king, for blood, for native land. But I am no killer, I am no blade. I turn no field red, I dug no grave. Still I shoulder the shield, I carry the blade. Some men by the crown, in fear and hate. My hands new harvest, not the spear. But now they shake, now they sear, with dread of what I'll soon become. A tool of war, a deadly weapon. I've never raised my voice in hate, but now the king decides my fate. Will I rise or will I fall? Will I perish in field far? For I am no killer, I feel no fame, but I march with ghosts that bear no name. Still I shoulder the shield, I wear the chain, summoned by the crown to kill again and again. Sound, the lines will clash, men will burn and steel will flash. And if I fall, so it will be. There's more than fear, there's more in me. I was no killer, I felt no flame, but I stood for home all the same. By the crown, I kill again and again. Summoned by the crown, again and again. Rang out at dawn's first cry. Mud and fire and men who die. Kendrik crawled through blood and death. A boy no more, he survived the test. The clash of shields, the sting of pain, the screams like thunder, the scarlet rain. Each strike he gave, each breath he stole, carved a warrior from the soul. Tempered in battle, born in bloodstain. War made the man, gave him a name. Sword in hand, fury unfurled, he carved his mark into the world. He learned to read a soldier's eyes, to kill before the warrior strikes. No knight, no lord, just grit and speed. Where others broke, he learned to lead. He found the rhythm, felt the tide, saw the fear the foe would hide. With every charge, with every stand, he earned his place. He took command, tempered in blood, forged in the flame. Death in his eyes, fear is his name. Steel rang true, fate came fast, and left his foes each one aghast. His name with awe and dread, leave him breathing and you're dead. Not a hero, not a saint, but something more itself would tame. Tempered in blood, fed on slaughter, hammered by war from hell to high water. From nameless youth to battle's pride, a storm in flesh Kendrik rides. Tempered in blood, tempered in blood, tempered in blood. Was long, the skies were gray, but home still stood where memories lay. The sword was sheathed, the armor hung, yet battle drums still softly rung. She found him worn, but standing tall, with haunted eyes that saw it all. He spoke in silence, slept in fears, but held her close to hide the tears. This is the quiet war, the fight unseen, where love must heal, where pain has been. No clash of blades, no blood to spill, just hearts to guard and time to kill. A child's cry, a lover's smile. He learned to live a gentler while. But peace was strange, a foreign land. No sword to grip, no line to stand. His hands once calloused, soaked in red, now built a crib, now broke his bread. But in his dreams, the fire stayed, the ghost of war that never fade. This is the quiet war, fought in the light, with lullabies that chase the night. No banners wave, no trumpets call, just learning how to feel at all. His son against his chest, a heartbeat slow, a moment blessed, and whispered low, I'll keep you safe, as if the past could be replaced. This is the quiet war, the long return, where love must teach what steel can learn. A warrior's path, a father's role, to guard not land but heart and soul. The throne room echoed with silent runes. He walked in shadows among gilded fools. Steel on his back, scars on his skin, but none as sharp as what burned within. She wore the night like a silken crown, eyes like secrets that pulled him down. A look, a smile, a whispered name, one touch, and nothing was the same. Velvet and chain, a fire in disguise, a crown can't shield forbidden ties. In moonlit rooms where silence falls, love can bloom behind stone walls. She spoke of dreams she couldn't chase. He traced regret across her face. Two lives apart by law and lie, but hearts that strayed where stars align. A fleeting world, a fragile lie, a breathless night beneath the sky. No vows exchanged, no promise sworn, just stolen hours close and warm. Velvet and chain wrapped tight around a love that dares without a sound. In royal halls where secrets hide, his wedding vows he now defied. She bore the cost behind closed doors. He wore the weight in battle scars. She wed a lord, he stayed behind, but a child grew unknown entwined. Velvet and chain, the bond they hide, and never born he cast aside. In every war, in every breath, he bears the brand of love and death. Again, but not the same. He wears a smile that hides his shame. A loving wife, a child's eyes, but something cold behind the skies. He chops the wood, he mends the gate. He plays the role, tries to accept fate. Shadows move where sunlight falls, and love can feel like prison walls. Ashes in the heart, smoke in the soul, living half a life, never whole. He's here in flesh, but lost in mind, to a memory he left behind. Her voice still lingers in his dreams. The crown, the silk, the broken schemes. A secret child he has never seen, a wound that weeps where none can bleed. His wife still sings, their child still laughs, but joy is split in crooked halves. He tries, the burden grows. The deeper it roots, the less he shows. Ashes in the heart, warmth turned thin, haunted by the might have been. He walks through days in silent war, a soldier lost, though not in gore. Son and holds his breath, afraid of fate, afraid of death. And yet it's love he cannot face, when every look reminds of that place. Ashes in the heart, dreams turn to dust, desire wrapped in quiet rust. He stays, he breaks behind in shame, a hero's heart, and yet he's to blame. It came with wind, no herald's cry, a sickness born beneath the sky. They fell like wheat before the blade. No time to scream, no time to pray. As fever burned, his son grew cold, the world upturned. The house once filled with song and light, now choked in ash, devoured by night. When the fire went out, the silence screamed, love undone and broken dreams. He begged the gods, but none replied, just whispered wind and children's cries. The walls still stand, the roof remains, but every board is soaked in pain. He walks alone through empty rooms, haunted by their echoed tunes. The crown, the war, the secret tryst. In pain he clenched both his fists. A man who fought 1,000 men can find the strength to live again. When the fire went out, he died inside. No sword could pierce so deep, so wide. He lost the war, he couldn't see time swears he hears his child come down the stairs. When the fire went out, hope turned to stone. He walks the earth, but walks alone. The hero fades, the father's gone. Just ash remains where light once shone. Broken glass and bitter breath, he drinks to drown himself to death. No crown, no war, no family name, just rusted glory, grief, and shame. Tavern fists and bloodied hands, no honor left, no noble stands. His legend mocked in drunken jest, a fallen hero, a cursed guest. He was the storm, he was the tide. Now he's got nothing but remorse inside. The world moved on, left him behind, a hollow man with a splintered mind. They locked him up, they let him rot. No one weeps, no one forgot the mess he made, the tales he burned, the man who never quite returned. So to the woods he made his way, where silence keeps the ghosts at bay. Among the trees he digs his grave, one foot in shadow, one in shame. He was the blade, he was the steel. Now he's a wound that will not heal. He hides from mirrors, hides from light, lives with wolves and dreams of night. To no one, he eats alone, wears his guilt like winter snow. The forest knows the ravens cry. He walks in silence, waits to die. He was the savior, the kingdom's pride. Now just a shadow time can't hide. A name once sung, now cursed and banned, buried in leaves, the hollow man. A knock rings out through timber walls where silence clings and memory crawls. He grabs his blade, his eyes like stone. This ain't a place for you, he groans. shoes. She stands unshaken in the rain. No fear, no flinch, no sign of strain. I know your face, she softly says. You're the ghost of my mother's yesterdays. I don't know you, girl, now go away. You don't want what I became. But she won't step back. She meets his glare with strength in her gaze, in quiet care. I've heard the songs, I know the lore. You're more than ruins, more than war. The world is burning, it's happening again. I carry your blood, I know your name. He turns away, the shame too strong. He's been broken for far too long. I'm not the hero, not the light. I'm every scar, I lost that fight. I'm trusting you. I've heard the songs, know the Lord. You're not forgotten, not folklore. The world is bleeding, we need your heart. This isn't penance, this is doing your part. You can rot or you can rise. Be the salvation in a nation's eyes. You can fade like all the rest, or face the storm and give your best. They wrote you off, left you to die, but I see truth where others lie. So stand, Kendrik, take your place. The world still turns and needs your grace. Him walk with weary stride, a shadow worn by time and pride. Armor dulled, a tattered name, once potent force, now just the blame. They whisper tales, half true, half lies, of broken oaths and bloodshot eyes. A fallen hero who lost his war, now dares to knock on duty's door. Too old, too slow, too far gone, they say. Just a ghost who's lost his way. But ghosts to remember every scar, and where the traps and ambushes are. He walks alone, but still he stands, a weathered soldier with weathered hands. He trains in silence, hears them jeer. They laugh aloud, he sees the sneers. He's seen the fall that pride can bring. It seems he's lived through everything. They call him drunk, they call him mad, but none have seen. The wars he had, they don't yet know what silence buys, or see the battle behind his eyes. Too weak, too stained, too out of time, but each is home, this worn out spine. They stop, but soon they'll learn to see that ghost strike with precision deadly. He bears the weight of his regrets, but still has battles left to sweat. Falls, the old man lifts. No words exchanged, just silent gifts. A steady hand, a sharpened eye, a soldier still until he dies. They said he'd break, they said he's done, but he's the wall they lean upon. Not for glory, not for praise, but for the ones who face the blaze. He walks again, no banners high, just duty burned deep in his eyes. The ghost walks on, nothing left to prove. Only duty for a daughter he never knew. Speaks in scars, not in boasts. Face to shadow more than most. They laugh at first, the line's the gray, but silence falls when he walks their way. He sharpens blades, he mends the torn, with hands as gentle as the morn. That dons his helm, becomes the storm, where coldest fury takes its form. Whispers ride the smoke and flame. Who is he that knows no name? The outcast warrior, the ghost with grace, the carnage that never leaves a trace. Steel and silence, each battle fought, the field forgets, but he does not. Let a shield with a royal mark arrive like sparks into the dark. They say he loved a hidden queen, they say he lost all he had been. He binds the wounds with care and thread, but leaves no mercy for the dead. One moment soft, the next a gale. He got a line, no, he's not frail. Whispers ride the smoke and flame. Who is he that knows no name? The outcast warrior, the ghost with grace, the carnage that never leaves a trace. Steel and silence, each battle fought, the field forgets, but he does not. The old and young march side by side, not with command, but quiet pride. He reads alone beneath the trees, a letter kissed by royalty, then closes his eyes to hear his daughter's voice, and readies for the world's last choice. whispers ride the smoke and flame. Who is he that knows no name? The outcast warrior that goes with grace, the carnage that never leaves a trace. Steel and silence, each battle fought. The field forgets, but he does not. We marched at dawn through quiet glade, steel at ease, no blades were raised. Then arrows screamed like cursed breath and tore the calm to sudden death. From ridge and root the shadows came, eyes like demons, death they rang. 1,000 thorns in armored skin, we never saw them closing in. The horns were still, no signal cried. Just dying men and those who tried. Ash in the trees, blood and gore. Our shields broke like waves on the shore. Kendrik rose through fire and smoke. Fall back, the words he spoke. No time to stand, no ground to hold. Just run or feed the earth your soul. He dragged a boy who lost his breath and hurled his knife to stave off death. The line was gone, the order cracked, but still he fought and pulled us back. He found the captains torn and still. The younger men had lost their will. He fought like hell, he carved the way to the bridge if you wanna see the day. Ash in the trees, death in the mud. Their house came swift, their swords drew blood. We ran through roofs, through smoke-stung air, with doom behind and none to spare. No time to pray, no time to mourn, only to flee and survive till morn. Cries of the dying chased by the crows. The forest burns, but still we go. Ahead, the path, the winding ledge. Beyond it waits the river's edge, and just beyond that sacred span, of stone and hope, of final stand. Still we run with death behind, toward the bridge if fate is kind. The sky was red with smoke and flame as Kendrik led them bruised and lame. He turned and faced the blood-stained track. Right now, he said, don't look back. A boy, not yet a man, cried out, he'll die alone. A desperate shout, but Kendrik answered calm and grave. One soul may fall, so all are saved. raced the bridge with shaking frame, too tired for glory, too old for fame. They laughed the tide would sweep him down, but he rose determined without a frown. One by one they came to kill, one by one they fell, and still he cut them down in flowing waves. Their war-worn pride became their brave. He stood where none would dare remain, a storm of blood, a wall of pain. Steel and shadow, wrath and blade, one final death the gods were paid. 100 fell beneath his hand. He was the fury, he was the stand. The enemy's pride, a living name, charged the bridge to stake his claim. They fought like titans, torn and bold, and Kendrik's blade bit through the cold. A strike, a scream, a final blow. The warrior, he fell below. But Kendrik, broken, could barely stand. His own blood spilled upon the land. Still more came, afraid yet bound, to silence he who stood his ground. Though pierced and torn, he met their charge, and took down scores, both swift and large. But wounds will speak when courage tires, and even gods feel funeral pyres. He sank to knees with crimson breath, and welcomed not defeat, but death. Three approached, swords raised and red. He struck two down, though nearly dead. The third drove deep with tearful eye, and whispered, "Gods, forgive this crime." His sight went dark, his thoughts took flight. To ghosts he mourned each sleepless night. A wife, a son, a lost love too. They stood with him as dusk it drew. But one still lived, his Isabel. In her blood, his legend dwells.
Where maps forget and swallow time. A grave lies lone, half-worn and bare, yet every stone is swept with care. Isabel knelt on weathered stone, her daughter's hand held in her own. "No kings come here," she softly said, but he walked where brave men bled. He stood alone and held the line, while others fled, he bought us time. The city rose because he fell, though none remember now to tell. No anthem sings, no statue stands, but hear your grandfather save the land. Amelia's eyes were wide and still. She listened on the wind-swept hill. Was he a knight with armor grand? No child, just one man who made a stand. No songs were penned, no honors laid, just one who fought and would not fade. He saved the men who warned the town, is not in stone or scroll, but passed through blood from soul to soul. This grave endures where silence grows, because one heart still tends and knows. He gave his breath, he gave his soul, to save our future, his final goal. Where you, my child, can lift his song and make his spirit loud and strong. For you are his fire, his kin, and here your legacy begins. So let the world forget his face, we'll keep his grave and guard his place.
Came, I still recall, steel in his voice, the sudden call. My name etched deep, the scroll was cold. No time for fear, just do as told. The cries rang loud, the smoke rose black. The southern sky burned down the track. And so I took the blade and stood for kin, for hope, for greater good. I was no killer, I felt no flame. No thirst for blood, no need for fame. Still I bore the shield, I took the chain, summoned by the crown in grief and pain. My hands once built, not fought nor bled, but learned to strike where mercy fled. Each soul I felt still walks with me, a shadow carved in memory. I never sought a martyr's grave, but still I gave and gave and gave. No throne wept when I was gone, no anthem rose, no battle song. I was no killer, not by design, but I was called and I crossed the line. Still I bore the shield, I bore the chain. Forgotten by the crown, I killed again and again. Yet one still comes through wind and rain to lay her hand upon my name. She knows the cost, she knows the scar, and brings me light from worlds afar. I died a killer without a flame, because I rose when others came. With bleeding heart I wore the chain. Forgotten by the crown, I killed again and again. Forgotten by the crown, again and again.